Alright, it's that time again, isn't it, where I do a little video so you can get a proper perspective from the ground, so to speak. So over the last week I have been on several occasions debunking, disproving the establishment's claims and allegations against me. It started off last week, didn't it, when they wanted me to get smashed at boxing, and they made a whole forecast before the actual boxing took place of how I was going to get smashed, how my rib was going to get broken, or my jaw, or to a bare minimum how I was going to get knocked out. Well, that didn't happen. I did lose the fight, but I did not get knocked out or badly hurt in any way, shape or form. And that's despite their forecast, despite all of their propaganda that was pre-announcing how this was going to happen. What they did simultaneously as well, because they have, as I did say in my last video too, they have been prohibiting all my sales entirely for this month of October 2022. And for justification for doing this, they have coerced or enticed one of my customers who bought an engine from me last month on the 25th of September to make a false complaint against me and my engine, which he did 2 weeks after purchasing my engine. And I spoke with him, and we ended up having a couple of conversations in which it was arranged. He had a mechanic to look at the engine supposedly, but nevertheless they said it didn't work, so they sent it back, and I received it on the 22nd of October, so nearly a month after it was purchased, and there was nothing wrong with the engine at all. As soon as I mounted it on my PGO, it started up immediately, no problems whatsoever. I did a video of it, and I will show that here too. So as can be seen, it starts, it rides without any problems whatsoever, and that's despite the customer making the claim with his mechanic that this engine didn't work and it wouldn't start. So absolutely nothing wrong with it, and it took almost 4 weeks to get the engine returned to me. So the government was asking someone to make a false complaint and asking them at the same time to drag it out as long as possible, so the government could use that in their propaganda campaigns as justification to deny everyone the permission to buy anything from my small business one-stop engine shop at Motorbutikken. And this has happened. My entire income this month has been cut off. I'm not allowed to earn any money, I'm not allowed to sell anything whatsoever. And this they did by fabricating the justification and pretext for it without having any merit in their claim whatsoever. So this has been shown, and thereby they have also pre-announced that this engine would most likely work when I got it home, or at least that's what I think, how I think they have preempted me doing the video I have done. And the customer still wasn't happy that the engine worked, because obviously he just wanted to buy an engine and make a complaint out of it and get his money back without it costing him anything. But obviously, when there's nothing wrong with something that you purchase, you don't have the rights that you would have had if there was something wrong with it. So obviously I'm not going to give the customer his money back, and instead I have sent the engine return. And this has happened, and the engine here on the 26th is already returned to the customer, only 4 days after I received it and tested it. So it took the customer a month to get this sorted out, and it took me 4 days to have it all worked out. And obviously this glaring difference in how I deal with problems, in contrary to how the government's stage problems always seem to be, kind of tells you what the time is, if you want to put it that way. There is also another engine that I have tested that the government has been for the longest time claiming wouldn't work, and this is my 100cc PGO engine, which is 50cc more than usual, so it's from a maxi scooter, and they said it wouldn't work because I have used a 100cc and not a 110cc cylinder kit, and they have been making claims that the piston would go too far up and hit the cylinder head, which obviously I had measured beforehand, and the squish, it's called, has always been in accordance with what is standard. And this engine has also been mounted on a PGO, and as can be seen in this video, this little torquey engine also works great, and it's a proper little torque machine, so it's good to do wheelies on, and it achieves fairly high speeds, so that's great. And this is also showing to everybody that the government has been also making false claims regarding this engine. So there has been thousands and thousands of views of this engine, and there has been many people who wanted to buy it but wasn't allowed, or have been dissuaded by the government's false claims in these regards, as I have just mentioned. And now there is a video showing how it works, and yeah, so that's 3 times in a row that I have provided information disproving this conglomerate of states and intelligence agencies' false claims against me and my small business, One Stop Engine Shop. And it's not only these engines, this engine, the 100cc, that they are prohibiting anybody from buying. It's also in regards to all of my Minarelli engines, and generally speaking my CC engines in general. They don't want anyone to buy, of course, because they don't want people to know or to experience that I build quality engines for these 50cc scooters that are tuned. My engines I have tuned and standard engines, and they don't want anybody to buy any of these engines from me because they don't want me to have any success at all, and they don't want me to have money so I can improve my shielding, for example, improve my life by affording to buy things, or putting down a down payment to buy my own house, and these kinds of things that a person of my age, of 37, should be thinking about. They want to prohibit me from achieving anything in life, and this is happening at an ever more rapid pace. And because I am kind of disproving and showing the government and its intelligence agencies for the fraudulent scum they are, fabricating pretext and justifications out of nothing, then they are doubling down on their propaganda and psyops against me. As I am understanding, they are doubling down on their sexual ridicule of me, and in this regard they are saying that I'm engaging in all sorts of sexual perversions, and I'm supposedly engaging all kinds of perversions, as I say. But this is not true either. The extent of my sex life is non-existent, and my porn habits are really kind of dull and boring. If I go to a porn site, I watch sex.com and watch these small GIFs where there's a little 10-second film, or whatever you want to call it, a GIF. And this is literally the extent of my porn habits. It's as I say, dull and boring. But apparently, in accordance with the government's claims and propaganda, I'm engaging in all sorts of perverted extravaganzas. I wish this was the case, but yet again, it is just the government lying, cheating and stealing and throwing everything and the kitchen sink at me, and hoping that it sticks so that I can get discredited, ridiculed and demonized, as they always intend to do against me, Stephen Bell.